Hello again, everyone. This is Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. Hey, how's everybody doing today? I hope that this video finds everybody doing well. And if you're not feeling so great today, I really hope that you feel better real soon. Take good care of yourself. Now listen, we spent yesterday. Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Thanks so much for calling back. We have again with us Steve Young, and we're going to talk today about the benefits of having a debit card. Now, yesterday we spoke about the disadvantages of having a debit card, but today we're going to talk about the benefits. And I hate to break your bubble, there are a few, and they're really important, and they're really good. But it's just not that many. So we're not going to dwell on that only. There are a bunch of other cards that we're going to talk about, like those prepaid debit cards and gift cards and so on. So we will take another look at that later. Okay, Steve? Is that okay with you?
Sounds good.
Okay, great. But I just want to go over a benefit of having a debit card. Well, okay, first of all, a debit card replaces the need for paper checks. Remember those? Who still uses them out there? Just wondering, let me know. Well, nah, you may not want to let me know. But just saying, you can avoid any late payment charges because most debit cards have either a no or a low fee attached to it. Just got to read the fine print, and as usual, you have to get educated about the plastic that you are using, be it credit or debit card, any sort of vehicle for your money. Please get familiar with it because not everything is the same with every single financial institution. So check that. Some debit cards are actually better and have more advantages than others. So read the fine print. Well, here's the great news. Debit cards basically also help you stay accountable for your spending. It's sort of like using a plastic check, if you will. And because debit cards removes the money from your purchases right away, guess what? You are less likely to make impulse purchases. Do you agree with that, Steve? What says you about regular good old debit cards?
Well, when it comes to a debit card, at your financial institution, people have the ability to either get overdraft protection or not to have overdraft protection. Now, you happen to focus on impulse buying. This is something I don't like. Do not opt to get overdraft protection on your account. I'll explain because it basically works like this. Yes, whatever dollar amount that you have, if you go over, guess what? When it comes time, whatever that overdraft amount was that you went over, you're liable to pay that back.
Wow. So once again, it's just fueling the thought of knowing what you're getting into in the first place and reading the fine print. And a lot of times people, for whatever the reason, and I really don't know the reason, they may feel embarrassed to ask questions. Wrong. Go and ask those questions. Check out those frequently asked questions if you're checking through a website. Call a contact phone number if you can to get an answer. Isn't it well worth it? What do you think, Steve?
Yes, it's well worth doing. Always be on top and be well knowledgeable about what's going on, especially your own money.
Yeah, you're right. Because if you're not responsible for your own money, who really is? And on that note, we're going to take a little bit of a break. And when we get back, we're going to talk about those beautiful prepaid cards. Yeah. Be right back. Thank you so much for sticking around. We really do appreciate your time. Thanks again, Steve, for coming back. We're going to talk a little bit more about another type of a debit card, and it's the prepaid debit card. And basically, that is a reloadable card that you can use to shop online. You could use to shop at a brick and mortar store. You could pay your bills with it. You could do many things with it. And it's actually something that a person can gain easy access with And personally, I think one of the greatest advantages of that type of a card is for a person that does not or cannot, for whatever the reason, have a typical, for example, brick and mortar bank account. But because we live in an internet world, and there are many, many reasons, sometimes a person is disabled and they can't get to a brick and mortar bank, for example. These are wonderful advantages. Now, some do come with a little price to pay in terms of monthly fees or transaction fees as it goes along. It all depends on the plan that you use. Steve, just wondering, what's your opinion about a prepaid debit card in general?
I find them to be very beneficial. I highly encourage people to get them. I have a good example for a prepaid debit card. Let's say that you are going on a vacation. You might remember back in the olden times, you had these things called a traveler's check.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. Boy, that's a sign of my age.
Okay, ditto. All right. You could use a prepaid debit card virtually the same way you could do a traveler's check, but it's actually safer. What you would do is go and reload whatever denomination of money on your card. Let's say you want to go on a vacation, but you want to take $500 with you. You could load 500 onto the card, and it's on that piece of plastic rather than have physical traveler's checks in your wallet and risk losing them.
Very good point. Very, very good point. So, I mean, do you recommend these as a gift, or should we speak separately about gift cards specifically, or what?
Gift cards is a fabulous thing to give as a gift.
So, you know what? On that note, we're going to take a little break and we're going to speak separately about gift cards. And there is one pitfall of some type of gift cards. Yeah, I know, hard to believe, but that's on us. Just saying, just saying. And we'll be right back. Hey, thanks again for sticking around. And in this final segment of today's show, we're going to talk about gift cards. I don't know about you, but I love gift cards. I have no issue at all. Hint, hint, hint. Am I hinting to my subscribers? No, I would never do that. I really do love being blessed with gift cards. Just saying, just saying. But we need to talk about a couple of possibilities of some things that we maybe not intentionally do, but could happen to those that are blessed enough to have received a gift card or two or three. Steve, you had an idea earlier. You had mentioned it to me when we were not recording of something that can happen with gift cards that's not really cool. What would that be?
Well, people have a tendency when they get a gift card as a gift or they purchase one, to use, they tend to forget about it, maybe stick it in a drawer or place it somewhere and don't use it. They don't realize that, maintenance fees can come from that. Better yet, if you don't use that card after a certain amount of time, it tells you on the back, the fine print, coming back to the fine print. If you don't use that card by a certain specified date, all of your funds disappear that's on it.
Wow. Wow. That, I knew of someone that had given a mutual friend $100 gift card, like as a wedding gift. And people get married, they get busy, the this, the that, but. She lost so much value, not only that one card, but in many other gift cards received. And I felt badly for the giver not so much the recipient. I felt badly for the purchaser because they took the time and the money, to buy it. You know what that to me reminds me of, Steve? Like somebody literally taking a $100 bill, walking up to the wastebasket and saying, bye bye, don't need you, could care less. That is not cool. It is not cool to the person that gave you the card, and it's certainly not helpful to you. Steve, do you think because we live in a plastic abstract world that could be contributing to people not valuing things for its monetary value?
I I do believe that plays a part of it. And you were mentioning impulse buying earlier. Okay, yes, a debit card works in reverse from a credit card. A credit card, you have a credit line and you work off of it. But that's their money that you're using. But you're supposed to pay it back. That's only the right thing to do. But a debit card, it is your own physical money. And if you're not careful, as I was mentioning before, and people opt to get the overdraft protection, you could wind up paying double or triple for something. So if you have $500 worth of overdraft protection and you go out and spend $800, if you're not careful because of overdraft protection, if you stop and think about it, that $800 item could become $1,600. Not to mention,
Oh my gosh.
on top of the overdraft protection money that you have to pay back, you're also charged interest on top of that.
So that's times two plus interest for mindless shopping.
Exactly.
That is that's totally not cool in so much as for many, many reasons. Before we close up the show, I just want to throw in my 2 cents. Haha, pun not intended. But I believe that some people, hate to say it, abuse their credit cards. They get mad at the creditor. If you know that you have no intention of paying back that loan, you think you're hurting the creditor? In a way, yes. But who are you really hurting? Yourself. So just stop that urge to shop for something you do not need, because a credit card is a short-term loan. That's all it is. And don't get mad at the creditor, because I look at it this way. That creditor was nice enough to lend you the money. Look at it like that. Am I right or wrong here, Steve?
You're absolutely right. Whatever credit card company you're dealing with, whether it's a bank credit card, credit union credit card, they trust you with that denomination of money that you're going to pay it back.
That's it. And it is truly a short-term loan. Well, Steve, I want to thank you again for taking the time. And the bottom line is this: everyone's lifestyle is different. Everyone's personal financial needs are different. Everyone's accessibility to the vehicle, whatever type of card that works for you or your family, is different. What might work for Steve may not work for Jan. What might work for Jan may not work for you. So it's just an individual thing. We just wanted to take the time to point out the advantages and disadvantages of the various many cards that we hold as options today. In the meantime, this has been Jan from New York City and Steve Young. Thank you so much for viewing and listening. Why? Because we really do appreciate your time. Hey, don't forget to come back next week. Steve, I'd like to do a show about payday loans. Would you like to join me on that one next week?
Sure, I'd love to.
Okay, great. I really appreciate you calling back, because payday loans. Where do I begin? All right, everybody, you have a great day, and I'll be back on Sunday. I have a special bonus upload tomorrow in debt and in gratitude to a wonderful, wonderful subscriber. Have a great day.